All right, welcome back. Episode 8 of the Bucks of Nebraska Podcast. It's Cody Neer here. I'm here with Matt Williams and Zach Bryan again, and we're going to talk a little turkey hunting today. Also going to do I got a couple giveaways. Our good buddy Anthony Myers Customs got some turkey calls. We're going to give away 2 turkey calls today during this episode, and then we're excited. It's about to be spring 2026. Turkey season's upon us. We've got the start dates coming up soon, and we'll talk a little turkey hunting and have a little fun today. What's the
Fingers is starting to green up actually out there. We've had 90-degree weather this past week. I was out at the farm this morning. That everything's starting to pop, be green. I've actually started to pull a few ticks off the dog. So unfortunately, ticks are already out.
Are you the dog or?
No, but got a couple of those short hairs that seem to find all the ticks and all the grass, but it's not going to be long, and we're going to be seeing those longbirds out there strutting around.
Archery season starts on the 25th.
This Wednesday.
This Wednesday, 25th of March, archery for turkey season here in Nebraska.
I mean, 90 degrees.
Pretty excited. So, hey, giveaway Anthony Myers Custom. So we're giving away 2 of these mouthpiece calls today. The way you get this mouthpiece call is if you subscribe, number 1, and you follow us, number 2, on either one of those on the podcast. And then also, if you just share, all you have to do is share this. Zach's got his TikTok going over here. You got to make sure you're following us, following the podcast, and then make sure you share this episode 8 turkey season edition of Bucks of Nebraska Podcast. So,
And when we get a draw this winter,
we're going to do this.
today.
We're going to do it live here during the stream. We're going to go and see who has shared this. So if we have 5, if we have 3, if we have 1 lucky person that's on there watching us on TikTok today, all you have to do is make sure you're following the podcast, subscribing to it, and then share that TikTok live. And if you share that TikTok live, we're going to give it away. But for the people who listen to this later, I've got another mouthpiece call I'm going to give away. We're going to do that giveaway in a week. We'll reach out to you. You can listen to them.
I was hunting last year, and it was fairly late in the game. I think it was the 3rd week of April. So, they're hunted birds pretty deep into the season. And there's a cemetery up on a ridge where I deer hunt, and I sat there with my back up against a gravestone. And it's right
on top of someone's.
I don't know the name.
What's it, Marine? Yeah, you say you kill deer in their beds while they're sleeping, and you kill turkeys off of dead bodies.
I'm unorthodox, aren't I?
Yeah, you're starting
I'm starting to question if
I'm sitting there. I got my back up against.
What was the gentleman's name on the gravestone?
I don't remember the
No
name.
respect.
I'm sure
But-
you'll find it again this year.
I will set up there again. That was one of my favorite hunts. I did not have a decoy.
Do you pin that on Onyx? Dead body.
I don't know the name, but he was a young kid. It was like 18. I don't remember the born on date, but died in 1880. That's how old this cemetery is, right? But it's cool. It sets up on a ridge, and it's so thick where I was. I followed the road up to the cemetery, and I could hear a goblet. So I got to get up to the cemetery. I'll sit up in there because I can see down a couple. It's a kind of where 3 ridges come together, and I had pretty decent visibility, but it was way too thick, and they were way too close for me to use a decoy. So I sat up on that cemetery. I just let out a few calls, no decoy, anything like that. And they gobbled a couple times, and then they went silent. And I'm just sitting there kind of questioning what I'm going to do. And I looked over to my right, and I could just see his red head. It's really thick. There's a high stem count area. So it was super thick, and they were just they were looking for the sound. They didn't see the decoy because I didn't have one. They didn't see any other turkeys, so they were getting a little bit nervous. But anyway, he came into about 15, 20 yards, no decoy. And so that tactic could be effective.
Well, in honor of that dead body, let's give away one of these turkey calls. We'll give away the cutter since that's a. We got anybody over there on the live right now? We're going to give away this Anthony Myers custom turkey calls. If you're interested,
I'll take a look at that.
You can come on our website on outdoorbrandcompany.com and check out Anthony Myers customs mouthpieces. We're going to give away the cutter if anybody's on there now, but you can also go to amcustomcalls.com and get you some there. Same price on outdoorbrandcompany.com. We sure do appreciate you guys listening and following. If you're not following, liking, subscribing on our YouTube, our Spotify, we have Amazon, we have Apple, anywhere in the country. I know we just looked at the states. We've got people in Texas and Virginia and Kentucky and Ohio and And our taco
Germany. Let's not forget the Germans.
Germans over there. Lord, no, last time we forgot the Germans what they did. So yeah, we're gonna give away this. We'll give away this cutter mouthpiece right now from Anthony Myers. Anybody there, Zach? Who do we got?
Well, there's a bunch of people that have joined in.
Just pick us a winner.
Pick us a winner.
We gotta pick a winner.
Let's see here.
This cut type is called cutter. It's made based on how the mouthpiece is done. They come in a really cool pack right here, little mouthpiece. amcustomcalls.com or outdoorbrandcompany.com, which is us. So just go to us and buy it from us.
I was trying to. It's the same price. Who's still on here live right now? They've got a lot of people jumping in and out, and to find.
Zach does not have a winner for us yet, so we'll keep pushing the winner out, I guess, until we get there.
We're going to go with Trevor Barbo.
Trevor Barbo, you're the winner of the cut type cutter from Anthony Myers Custom Turkey Calls.
The MSA mailing address, we'll get that sent up.
Yeah, make sure. I know you jumped on the live, but make sure you follow us, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and then share the post. I know you jumped on there and saw the live on our TikTok, but you've got Anthony Myers Custom Turkey Call waiting for you when you get it. So the last half of this conversation, as we're moving through Nebraska's turkey season, so we've got youth archery, we've got youth shotgun, we've got regular season's going to start here very, very soon.
Yeah, he dives into populations.
Easters, Merriams, Rio Grandes, a lot of fun. 3 good turkeys. It's a sleeper state here in Nebraska. I know we have very good populations of turkeys, which is a counter to the lack of habitat we talk about with deer. So I'd love to hear your insights, both of you, on why you think turkeys seem to be booming. Obviously, it goes back to the counter that we're probably killing too many deer and we're not killing enough turkeys. But what's the population like for the Matt? What do you get?
Well, we got 3 types of turkeys. We've got the Rios, the Merriams, and the Easterns. Easterns pretty much over here on the river bottoms. We've got the Rios out in south central Nebraska. We've got Merriams up along the Niobrara, Pine Ridge, western Nebraska. Overall, populations are still solid. Populations are declining.
I haven't been on one property. I haven't seen a turkey this year deer hunting.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're good.
They're
They're
not
not
grace have turkeys.
When I say great, maybe they were overpopulated. I mean, there was a time, late 90s, early 2000s, where every flock in the winter was 200 plus birds. And maybe that's unhealthy because according to the Game and Parks, they like where our numbers are right now.
But the sandhills are just booming with turkeys.
Yeah, you'll still see those big bunches when up. They are up with 200, 300 birds.
Strong turkeys out.
I think it's down a little bit, yeah, like Matt was saying, from where we were at 10, 15, 20 years ago. But a lot of that can be attributed to a lot of your tree lines have been taken out and those little pockets of timber are no longer there. So there's some left
waterways, fence lines.
Yeah, there's some places that are no longer hold any birds that used to have flocks. And, specifically we have some farms that used to have 3 or 4 big flocks, and now it's down to maybe just 1 flock. But if you look at where those birds used to live, there's no longer trees there anymore. It's, there's.
What do you think the predators have on our population?
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Well, I think that a huge, predator for the turkey is our nest predators. So I say huge, but raccoons.
It's huge.
And anybody that has trail cameras out there in the fall time is seeing all these, raccoons. There's plenty of pictures that I have of those raccoons and herds. It seems like 15, 20 raccoons in one picture. It's incredible. And what I've heard from the guys that do coon hunt, they say if you got a picture of 5 coons or 10 coons, the amount of coons that you probably have on your property is 5 to 10 times. Yeah.
I had a picture back here behind the house. I was doing it wrong. I was putting corn on the ground. It had pictures of deer. It had in one picture, I counted almost 40 raccoons. So does that mean I have hundreds?
Ooh, lightly. Yeah.
Man,
in the area.
And I'm
gonna light it on fire.
One of the new farms and where the house is now this year. So last year I got in there midsummer, same thing. I was putting out some of that GB2 square blend out there, trying to see what deer were in the area, try to get some velvet pictures. I started, with picture of one raccoon. Then I went to 2 raccoons. And before you know, I got 5 or 6. So I
You're
started
trying to communicate and you'll tell their friends, this I stuff over here, yeah.
And so I started putting out lake traps. I killed a coon, it seemed like every day or every other day for a month. I think I got up to 27 that I killed. And I just kept trapping them until all of a sudden those traps sent, vacant for 2 to 3 weeks. I wasn't catching anything more. And I think that if everybody took the time to do some more trapping or killing some of these raccoons, it would really help the turkey population, because as we know, the turkeys, at night they go up in the tree. Well, when the hens have their nest, they're going to live on the ground, and they're going to put those eggs on the ground, and those nest predators, the skunks, the possums, the coons, are going to find those, get into them, tear them all up, and it takes out broods of them at a time.
Yeah, here's what I know. I think a lot of it can be blamed on fur prices. When we were younger, when I was younger, you weren't born yet. I just found out. But we all went killed coons. Everybody was killed coons and coyotes, and they were worth something. They paid for your gas. They paid for your shells, or your help cut the cost of your traps down. And right now they're worth absolutely nothing, and so nobody's doing it. And with nobody harvesting nest predators, coons, skunks, possums, they've just been thriving. And when you have an overpopulation of all of those 3 species that I just talked about that love turkey eggs, pheasant eggs, quail eggs, I think that's another reason why our pheasant populations are as low as they are. And that's, definitely a reason why we're less on turkeys than we were. And I think there's a direct correlation between the two. So fur prices need to fund back up.
Game and Parks obviously knows that the population has decreased. We had 3 permits. Now we're down to 2 permits. We put a limit on the non-residents, so they're aware that the population isn't near what it used to be for how much they wanted us to harvest in the past. But it's
I don't believe we're going to make an impact just by permits alone.
Well, hey, I'll give one plug to the Game and Parks that they did this year. That was awesome for this topic and for kids. And a lot of guys didn't even know this, but they do have a bounty out there for youth trappers and youth hunters. They will actually pay you to kill raccoons, skunks, possums, and coyotes this year. You got to be under a certain age. I don't know all the details that qualify, but yeah. But it was up to like almost $600 per kid per household, and that was their way to incentivize kids to get out there and parents.
Do you know what the amount was? Like if per coon, how much it's worth? Is it worth $1?
No. I want to say it was $6 or $7, and then they capped your household because obviously they're probably going to get a lot of help from dad doing that or mom and dad. But I thought that was a pretty cool program that the Game and Parks provided this year.
I think that our turkey numbers would explode if all of us recreational, hunters out there went to the farms in which we hunt and tried to make a conscious effort to try to reduce the coon numbers. Within 2 to 3 years, I think our turkey numbers could explode because they can populate extremely quick. And we saw that when we had a lot more habitat between the grasses and timber and stuff. Our turkey numbers were, like you said, potentially out of control at one point.
My thing is we look at this as a turkey pro, go out there and kill turkeys or killing these nest predators. But I would say growing up, one of the things that taught me how to be a better hunter for turkeys, for deer, was actually hunting the predators themselves. So some of my most fond memories are going in the woods and chasing raccoons and possums and squirrels and rabbits and those other smaller game. And that's what actually taught me how to be a better deer hunter, a better turkey hunter and that's really what I think a lot of people are missing, is just taking youth in the woods and letting them get behind a 22 or get behind a 20 gauge and go after predators and shoot small game, which makes you a better big game hunter itself.
I learned a ton about deer hunting growing up because I was in the woods squirrel hunting. It's been just time in the woods. You see the sign.
I thought we had squirrels in here.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 for sure.
Yeah. Matt, I got a question for you. We're about halfway through this. So your most fond memory for turkey hunting. I know a lot of people have a memory for turkey hunting particularly, but I'll share my last. But what's your most fond, your coolest memory from turkey hunting?
Oh man, coolest memory. It's an easy one for me. I had a good friend of mine, Chris Hurdle. He was from northern Minnesota. Didn't really have a lot of turkey hunting opportunities. Moved down here. Was one of my roommates. great guy, right? So we're out turkey hunting. We were up by Nebraska City-ish, and we got a bird coming in, and it's probably 30 yards, right? And he's ready to kill it. Right? That's, it's well within shotgun range, and I'm just like, just wait. And we have nothing but, we're on a fence line, and he's in a bean stubble field, and he's coming into us, and Chris is just itching to shoot it. Like, just wait, this is weird, but he's gonna put on a show for you. So wait till he gets to the decoy. He gets to the decoy and he starts, spurring the decoy, jumping on him, swatting him with his wings or whatever. Chris is like, he keeps looking at me like, can I shoot him? I'm like, no, just wait. Like, just watch the show. When they come in and they're that aggressive and they're beating your decoy up, knocking the decoy off the ground. I mean, to me, that's what it's all about. So he puts on a show. He beats the crap out of the decoy, and this thing the whole time is probably 6-7 yards. And finally, I looked at Chris and I gave him the nod, and he decapitated that thing. But we got done with the hunt, and he was just, just the excitement. And he's like, I'm so glad I didn't shoot that thing at 30 yards. He got to see the whole show. He got to experience everything, and just seeing the excitement in his eyes. And that was his first experience with a turkey hunt. And since then, he's probably killed dozens of birds around here. But being a part of his first hunt like that, and
That's a cool one.
letting him witness, that up close and personal was probably one of my favorite hunts ever.
Zach, what do you have for your most
Well,
fun?
I've shot a lot of turkeys, and I've had a lot of fun with it. And, as I sit here and think about what the most memorable one is, and I guess I'll be kind of cliche. I'm going to say that one was taking Elena on her first turkey hunt and having birds come into 3 or 4 yards and having her shoot one. That was really exciting. My favorite personal turkey hunt, though, was my first turkey ever. My dad took me out, and, I didn't do any calling. I was maybe 10, 11 years old. We set up multiple times, multiple weekends. We called in birds. I missed birds. I screwed things up. I moved too quick, but eventually I finally did harvest one. And it's just kind of funny looking back at now and thinking about how, novice I was, how much I learned from that hunt. And we ultimately, got into the woods, set up. We got there real early afternoon. I'm going to say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we planned to sit till dark. So we got in there, all set up, start calling. Immediately after the first call, these birds hammer off, 500-600 yards away, but they're behind us, and they're all the way on the other side of the road in this timber that we're hunting. And as we didn't call a lot, and maybe just because we didn't know a ton about turkey hunting at that point in time, we were still kind of learning how to call and get these birds in. But wait 10, 15 minutes and call again. You can tell they're a little bit closer, so on and so forth. But these birds are coming behind us, and I'm set up completely in the wrong direction. They're coming from behind me the entire time. I know that they're coming. They got multiple kind of ditches and stuff that come through it, and they got to come all the way through a timber. We're on the backside of this timber, overlooking an open field. And so, hindsight would be, you hear those birds behind us just flip on the other side of the tree, and they keep calling. Well, now we faced it the wrong direction the entire time, and 3 toms come in, just all 3 toms all by themselves, no hands. And my dad and I are sitting together, but we're probably 10 yards apart. And these birds come right in between us or behind us. They're so close you can see these birds blink. And they get in, and they're just standing in between us. I mean, my dad was probably so close to this tom, he probably could have reached out and touched its back. That's how close he was to it. And eventually they worked out in front of us, and I was able to, get that first bird shot. It's funny, we got a picture of it. So that bird on my shoulder, how you kind of bend them and on their legs, you put them over your shoulder. His head dangled all the way to my ankles. That's how small I was at that time, and how big that bird was. Cool. And how difficult that bird was to carry back to the truck. But that was a really cool and fun hunt. I got to do it with my dad, which was a great time, and learned a lot about turkey hunting just from some of the mistakes that we had made on that hunt.
Yeah. I've got 2 memories, and I want you to hold on for these 2. I'm going to tell you 2 different stories, 2 different hunts, 2 different very fond memories. So one is I'm 19 years old, and I'm at the University of Florida, and we hunted just east of the university. It's called La Closa down in Florida. So during the week, I'd get off practice, whatever, and I'd have an hour and a half or so before daylight hits, and I run over there. I meet my dad, and he's like, "Hey man, we're gonna go back here and we're gonna hunt these turkeys." I said, "All right, sounds good." So we load up, we drive our four-wheeler all the way back in this big old, it's like 100,000 acres, whatever. It's all backed up to some private property and public property. It's kind of a mix. You got to weave your way back there. He drops me off and said, all right, I'm going to be right here at dark to pick you up. And I said, okay. I said, I'm by myself. That sounds good. I hear four-wheeler and it's brrr. It just goes out, I'm like, man, I don't hear him. He went way far away. So I walk in the woods. I just start looking around, and I have my little slate. I hit it and nothing. I hit it, nothing. About an hour goes by and I got 30 more minutes left and it's dark and I'm just meandering through this and I see the creek and I'm like, all right, well, I know the creek heads, north and south, and if I go south and I go back west, I'll be right there around that four-wheeler trail they dropped me off at.
You got lost, didn't you?
Let me tell you, did I get lost? But I got another lost than you.
You were college. Okay, you were a little kid.
But listen to this. I have my shotgun. I'm turkey geared up. I got vest and bags and everything with me. Got dark, and I started looking around. And I said, I don't know which direction I came in from now.
There's no cell phones back then, probably, was there?
This would have been 2006. So this is a year before the iPhone came out. So flip phone at best. I think I had one of the Razors or Pearls. I think BlackBerry Pearl had. So I don't have a GPS on my phone or anything. I always let her down. I don't hear anything. I'm like, well, if I just stop talking, stop moving, stop doing anything, I'll hear it's four-wheeler. Not a thing. So I started walking. I'm like, all right, it's this direction. I walk for an hour. Nothing. I look at my phone. I have no phone service. I'm like, man, I can't call him either. I'm going nowhere. I tell you what, it was 1:30 in the morning, okay? And I'm still out there walking around through the woods trying to figure out where I'm going. I finally see a light in the woods, okay? Mind you, this light, okay, is 100,000 acres. If I see a light, I'm like, well, the worst case scenario is I'll walk to that light. So I walk hours and hours and hours. It's 5:30 a.m. No cell phone service. Haven't talked to anybody. Got dropped off the night before. Listen to this. I got to this light. It was this old, little outpost light that was in the middle of the woods. Finally got cell phone service. The first person I called was 911. It was the Gainesville Police Department. I called them. I said, man, listen, I got dropped off on my dad last night. I have no idea where I'm at. I don't even know where I'm staying. I still see woods and trees everywhere. They're like, all right, well, we're going to come find you, right? I said, yeah, and you can call my dad. And I'm like, here's his phone number. Call him and just tell him I'm out here. Everything's good or whatever. I stay in that exact spot, and I'm realizing, how are they going to find me? I'm in the middle of nowhere. You don't have a pin. There's no... Yeah. Anyways, long story short, Gainesville PD shows up out there. They meet my dad at the hunting camp we had. It's about 9:30. I finally get found. I spent all night in the woods just walking around doing nothing. That's story number one of the most fun turkey hunt I've ever had. So
sounds like the worst turkey hunt you ever.
It was a pretty good memory. I'll tell you this. I remember getting picked up by the Gainesville PD, getting in, and I'm in all my camo. I got my shotgun. Police coming, the guys in his pickup truck coming up on me and everything. Obviously, he knows I'm not a threat or anything, right? But you just feel weird when you're standing there with a gun, a cop right there in front of you. I'm like, dude, it's not loaded, everything else. And he's like, nah, man, you're good. Let's go. Let's go. Anyways, it needs to say that was probably one of the funniest.
What state was this in?
This was in Florida.
Okay, easy. A little bit more woods, because it's not that you couldn't get lost in Nebraska, but in southeast Nebraska,
pretty wide open.
You can find a fence, you can find a road. It's pretty sectioned off. I mean, if you get lost, you're not going to be lost very long.
This next story, and originally I was going to just tell you the first time I shot a turkey with Dad, and I was, wow, you got the first turkey. And I had a turkey hunt where we shot 2 turkeys with a good buddy. I'm like, you know what? I got 2 crazy ones. This second story right here gets worse.
Dude, I don't know how you're going to top that. Would get lost for
this one gets worse.
24 hours in the woods.
So for many of you who don't know, Disney World has thousands and thousands of acres of Central Florida. Thousands, tens of thousands of acres. And buttoned up next to this, what's private property of Disney, there are some public lands or private land that people own. And on one of those private properties, a gentleman that my brother was partners with in his business owns some of this property. And like, hey, we're going to go set up, and we put trail cameras out there. We had cell cameras. This is 6 years ago, actually. Not that long. Put up cell cameras. We deer hunted out there a little bit, whatever. Put up cell cameras to turkey hunt specifically. So early in the morning, we wake up and our cell cameras are pinging. And we're like, what is this? Well, on the cell cameras, we see a bunch of turkeys. We're like, all right, we're going to go out there and make a move. So we're halfway out there driving on because we live 35, 45 minutes away from this property. We're halfway out there. And all of a sudden, our cell camera pings again. And there's a guy, and he's not in camouflage. He's in solid black outfit. He's got like an AR-15 carrying it through the woods. Okay? Turns out. We don't know yet, but we're like, what in the world was this? So we don't think anything. We're like, oh, guys out there doing whatever, shooting whatever. So we get out there. We literally think nothing of it. We're just like, all right, well, that's weird. Well, where we're going to go, we're like, maybe this guy is going to be out here and we're going to run into him. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. We're just not thinking about this at all. So we walk out in the woods. We get out there where this camera's at. We're walking through the woods. Our camera pings again. It was our camera that sees us. Okay, this is where we're at. Finally, we have an idea where we're at. We get a little alert on our phone. This guy was on Disney property with an AR-15 and shot up his facility at Disney World. This is 6 years ago. You can look at the story. So we're out in the woods, and we've got two
Wanted man.
we got a criminal on the loose with an AR-15, and we're out there in the middle of the woods with 2 shotguns, pumps with some turkey loads in it, and we're actually kind of like, what in the world is going on?
That's a tough decision. Did you want to be a hero or a turkey hunter that day?
So listen to this though. This is my brother being the way he is. He's like, man, that guy ain't messing with us. He already came through here, coming through here again. It's no big deal. So all of a sudden we just start hearing ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, and it's that guy apparently, right? No, we're about 1,000 yards away from us. This guy gets in a shootout with the actual SWAT team, like the OPD SWAT team, gets in a shootout with him. They end up killing this guy 1,000 yards away from where we're turkey. This is about now 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're still
Time to hunt. Yeah.
There you go. Now you're thinking. Yeah. So we know, well, he's dead.
Yes.
My brother being my brother who he is like, well, that guy's done. We're good. We're safe. So anyways, we set up. We know there's turkeys in this area. We see turkeys on it. We ended up setting up, put our decoys up. He ends up calling a turkey into him. He shot a nice tom that night. We ended up taking a pretty cool turkey, right there, right off the edge of Disney property. But needless to say, those 2 memories right there put ourselves in a predicament. But that one was the first one to get lost of all night was certainly not fun. The second one,
You win the next turkey.
I was gonna say, you couldn't invent a story too crazy story than that. But needless to say, if you look up on Facebook or Instagram, you look for Jeremy Neer, that's my brother. You'll see he posted the pics, the trail cam pictures. There's a trail cam picture of the turkeys, trail cam picture of this guy in his black outfit, trail cam picture of us all turkeyed up, whatever, with our gear and everything. And then he has a link to the actual shootout and the whole story of this guy. It's pretty wild, but
That's crazy.
that was insane little stories right there.
Yeah, I guess it could happen around here in southeast Nebraska, and maybe not necessarily a shootout, but I know every so often they have some prisoners escape up by Matt's house from the prison.
Good old Tecumseh.
Needless to say, turkey season's here. I think we're excited for it, and it's time to wrap this one. But what do you got, Matt? You got any last words of wisdom for our turkey hunters in the state of Nebraska?
Nah, just season opens on Wednesday, the 25th. Hopefully you guys all get an opportunity to get out there. Populations are still decent. Birds are probably going to be, for the most part, bunched up yet in their winter flocks. But we had record highs the last 2 days. We didn't even talk about that. It was 90, 98 or 97 yesterday, and low 90s before that. So
Woke up this morning, it's in the 30s.
yeah, then today we're cold again. Welcome to Nebraska. But no, the birds are they're going to be talking. It's about a 50-50 chance on the opener, whether you're going to be hunting in decent temps, you're going to be hunting in snow. And I think this year the opener is going to be pretty good.
Yeah. So we've got good numbers in Nebraska. We've got, there's 3 different types of birds all across the state. There's a 2 bird limit, plenty of opportunities. There's some things to remember. I think, turkeys are still coming out of winter just like everybody else is. So they're going to be a little stressed and a little skittish early. Get out there early in the morning, take my strategy, find them in the roost the night before, do your sneak attack. Zach, what else you got?
I was just going to say, make sure that if you do get a turkey harvested, make up a little post online. Make sure you're following the OBC Facebook page. We'll do a giveaway. We'll give a T-shirt or a hat away.
Love it.
Yeah, just post a picture. Tell us a little bit about your hunt. make sure you tag our page and post it on Facebook, and we'll do, when it gets to the end of the season, we'll do a giveaway or two for anybody
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Matt, you want to wrap us with just giving everybody kind of an outlay before we in this one?
Just as far as early season strategy is, or what? Yeah, birds. I mean, a lot of you guys, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners are, that we're going to have a wide range. There's going to be some avid turkey slayers out there, and there's going to be some young kids that are just getting their feet wet. But early season, man, with the birds bunched up like this, don't get out there and get too aggressive with the calls. I mean, they're pretty powerful still. So if you know where they're roosting, you know where they're feeding, just trying to set up in that in between and intercept them is pretty easy. On the calls and decoy placements, I'm pretty conservative when I'm out there hunting. I don't, this time of the year, I might just have, one hen. I might have two hens. I might not even use a ton decoy until, the second weekend in April. And again, on the calling, just keep it subtle. They're not going to be real aggressive yet. Now that can vary a little bit with these warm temps. I mean, the 90 degrees, these birds are probably a little bit confused on what's going on. So you might be able to have some fired up toms out there, but for the most part, just get out there, man. Give yourself an opportunity. Worst thing you can do is not kill one, but at least you're going to get out there and get the experience.
Yeah.
And I was going to say too, if you are thinking maybe you're not going to bow hunt them, you're going to shotgun hunt them, but you're eager to get out, see what's out there in the woods or on your farm. If you are doing some scouting, from experience, I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time calling to the birds just to get them to react, to get the gobble. Yes, it's fun, it's exciting, but a lot of times you're only going to trick that bird once in a spring. So, watch them, scout them, see what they do, but you don't have to necessarily call at them just to get them the gobble, because what can happen is they can decide to commit. They come in, and now you've tricked them that time, but you're not there to harvest them. When you come back to try to do it again, it can be a lot more difficult. That bird's educated at that point. So that's just a little bit of helpful tip if doing some scouting still before the shotgun season opens.
Yeah. So we got archery starts March 25th to May 31st. Youth shotguns April 11th to May 31st, and then regular shotguns April 18th to May 31st. Early season, they're going to be skittish. They're going to be pattern bow. It's going to be different. It's obviously temps are based. When you get to mid-season, those hens are going to be with the toms. They're going to be, you can do some calls and whatnot. When you get to late season during that end of the May area, those hens are going to go to roost, and it's going to be a little different pattern you're going to see by them turkeys. So if we can give you any positive thumbs up, I'd say just have fun. But also, one thing I'll say before we go is we still have a fall season too. So if you don't get your turkey now, still have a fall season coming up.
Yeah, and with the youth shotgun opening up on the 11th, take a kid, man. Introduce somebody. Make that a goal this year. Get somebody new that has not hunted. Get them involved. Get them that first experience in the woods. Hearing a turkey gobbling at 5 to 10 yards is crazy. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember the first time that happened to you. So
I think turkey season's so great about that. And, Cody asked us about what our favorite turkey hunting memory is. And what I like most about turkey hunting is kind of that group atmosphere to it. They don't all, yes, they have different lengths of beards and different lengths of spurs, but it's different than the whitetails. There's not that specific one on the farm that you don't want anyone to pressure and mess up that hunt. This is a great opportunity to get people out, get them a Tom or Jake, bring friends, bring family, bring someone who's never done it before. People that have never turkey hunted before, it's really fun to watch.
You raised a point before we go. You could shoot a Jake.
Yep.
And nothing wrong with that at all. I've had some of my funnest times in the woods where I call in a bunch of turkeys and two Jakes come up and I got a double bang with the guy I'm with, and it's bang bang and it's fun. That's fun. That's a memory I'll never forget. He also got his dog sprayed by a stump that day, but there's no, to your point, there's no like, that's a 3-year-old or 4-year-old or 5-year-old. He's not mature, whatever. Just go out in the woods, have fun, take a kid, enjoy it, have a great time. But that's episode 8 of the Bucks of Nebraska Podcast. Turkey season. Like, subscribe, follow. We're just getting started, really, but we appreciate you guys, and we're going to keep on rolling. And make sure you take a kid turkey hunting this year.